Alright guys, and welcome to HostComparison.net's 14 steps to building your website from scratch. We took the complicated task of building a brand new website down and broke it down into 14 simple, easy to execute steps to make it a simple, seamless, easy process for you. So we're going to dive right into the first step. So the first step is you need a domain. Your domain name is where people will access your website on the World Wide Web. So www.yourbusiness.com is an example of a domain name. You can buy domain names from any number of places. And we've got some great information on the rest of the site about where you can buy them, about things to look for when you're buying a domain. The second thing is hosting. A lot of times these two things go together. A lot of people like to keep their domain with their hosting, but you don't have to. You can buy your domain from one place and host it on another. That is completely fine and okay. So I encourage you to take a look and make sure that you get the best of each of those things in whatever you decide to do, and realize that they don't have to be tied together. Okay, so now that you have the place where you can actually put the website, what we need to do is install the platform. So the platform are things like WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, those types of things are your platform. Usually in your cPanel, which if that's over your head, don't worry about it. They're usually one-click installs with some basic hosting plans. Very simple. Then we need to choose our theme or our layout. So this can vary based on what you're using. So if you're using like Weebly or Wix, places like that, you're just going to choose a layout, right? Whereas if you're using WordPress, you have to find a theme. And the easiest way to find a theme there are thousands, probably tens of thousands of different themes. Just do a simple search of industry WordPress theme. You do that, industry WordPress theme, and you'll get all kinds of comparisons. We may even have some on the site by the time you watch this. So just find a theme that works for your industry. One that's specifically built for your industry is usually better, because there may be things that you haven't thought about. You kind of have the pre-laid out plan as to what most businesses in your industry do and use for websites. And while you might have some unique and creative ideas that you want to do on your website, it can be harsh to the user if it's too far off of what they expect. So make sure you're providing enough of what the user expects to see. Otherwise, you're going to end up with probably a high bounce rate. Then you need a logo. It's really hard to put a website together without a logo, because your logo dictates your color scheme. So get a logo. Fiverr.com, 99 Designs. There's a couple other places where you can get really quality logos for pretty inexpensive. So get yourself a logo. Create a tagline for your business and for your website. This is really important in keeping the theme of your website consistent throughout all the pages and all the different sections. Your theme should be both descriptive to what you do and what you want your visitors to do, right? So keep that in mind. Create that theme, and then decide what the purpose of your website is. So your website purpose is what you want visitors to do once they get there. For most small businesses and local businesses, this is going to be a contact form, a phone call, or it could be a purchase on your e-commerce store, right? So knowing what you want them to do and always directing them to that is deciding the purpose. Once you have your purpose, then you can go through your site outline or your site structure. This is simply what it is, kind of the outline of the whole site. Everything that you want to put on it, how you want it to flow. Basically, think of it as an outline for an essay, right? Just boom, 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 boom. So once you have the outline, you can go into actually writing the content. So you know what content sections you need, go write it. Just that simple. When you're writing, be sure you're getting at least minimum 350 words per page, and that's the bare minimum, people. You should really aim for at least 1,000. Otherwise, you're probably not providing that much real relevant content. Then get some images. Websites without pictures are really boring, and they don't hold attention very well. So find some images. Wikipedia has free free images to use. Also, Getty Images, Photostock, those places, all places where you can get great images for fairly inexpensive use. And video. It is so much easier to convey thoughts through video that you cannot on just written word, because you lose tone and inflection with written word. There are a lot of resources where you can find ways to create compelling videos, or nothing else, just to tell your story in your own words, in your own terms, right? So they're very important, so you don't lose that tone and inflection and that passion. Videos allow your passion to come through, and that's what's really critical about the use of video. Okay, so now you have the content, you have the images, you have the video. Drop them all on the page. Whatever your theme or layout that you're using, put the pieces in their place. Pretty done. Pretty simple, right? Then we get to step 13, and step 13 is really crucial. It's setting up and testing your either contact forms, your click-to-call buttons, or your e-commerce sites, making sure they're all functional. Whatever the goal of your website is, test it to the nth degree that it works, because there's nothing worse than having a user want to contact you or want to buy from you and not being able to because your website's broken. That is the worst. And then I call step 14 here, it's really step 13 and a half, maintain and update your website. A website is a living, breathing thing. It needs to be updated regularly. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be pampered and cared for. Updating testimonials, writing a blog post, updating your credentials, all that stuff. Your website really should continually update. Very few websites are set it and forget it. So there you go, guys. 14 simple steps. Take your next website project, break them down into these steps. You'll have no problem. All right, if you found this video useful, give it the old thumbs up. Make sure you follow our channel here. Yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. We'll answer them for you. Or head on over to HostComparison.net and submit a question through there. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.